In this technique, Shite strikes at Uke's head with a front strike and uses the Ikkajo technique to control Uke's whole body to the mat. From Aihami Kamae, Shite Uke shuffle in and Shite strikes Uke's forehead, cuts down, moves his body to control Uke, and finishes by pinning Uke's arm to the mat. Shite lifts both hands and strikes to Uke's head with his right hand. Uke blocks with his right hand. Shite's left hand grabs Uke's elbow from the bottom. As in Shumatsu Dosa Ichi, the right leg moves diagonally forward while circling Uke's arm down. The back foot cross steps forward in the direction of Uke's armpit, while Shite keeps Uke's arm in front of his body. The back foot cross steps forward again while taking Uke to the mat. The left knee is in Uke's armpit. The right knee is beside Shite's thumb. The hands and knees are used to control Uke's elbow, and the back is extended and the hips move down to control Uke's arm. The control is achieved by breathing out and using the power of the whole body and not just the arms. This is the same technique but practiced from a sawariwaza position or sitting position. From Aihami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in together and perform seizo to a sitting position. As in the standing technique, Shite strikes Uke's head and moves his right knee forward and cuts Uke's arm down. Shite then steps in with his left knee, then right, completely controlling Uke's body to the ground and pins with the Ikkajo technique. Shite and Uke both must control their feelings and not lose their concentration during the seizo movement. When Shite performs the front strike, he should come up onto his toes. The right knee moves diagonally forward with the Shikko movement. The left knee moves forward in the direction of Uke's armpit. Then the right knee moves forward, control Uke's arm, and control with the Ikkajo Osai pin. In this technique, Uke strikes with a front strike and Shite blocks, then pivots 180 degrees to the rear, shifts his weight, and controls Uke to the mat with the Ikkajo Osai technique. From Hidari Gyakuhami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in, Uke strikes. Shite blocks, then pivots 180 degrees to the rear while breaking Uke's balance. Shite shifts his weight and controls Uke to the mat, puts the right knee down with the arm, and controls Uke with the Ikkajo Osai pin. Shite must keep his weight strongly forward on the front leg, and when blocking, the left hand is under Uke's elbow. Shite pivots on the front leg to the rear while cutting down on Uke's arm in a circular motion. As you cut down on Uke's arm, you grab Uke's wrist. Shite shifts his weight and pulls his left knee into Uke's armpit. Put your right knee down on the tatami with the right hand and pin Uke. This is the same technique as standing, but Shite and Uke perform the technique from a seated position. Starting from Migi Yaihami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in together and perform Seizoho. Shite blocks Uke's strike and pivots on his left knee and controls Uke to the mat with the Ikkajo side technique. When striking, Uke comes up on his toes, and while blocking, Shite also comes up on his toes. Shite pivots 270 degrees to the rear while circling Uke's arm down to the mat, then controls Uke's elbow and wrist and applies the Ikkajo side pin. In this technique, Uke is controlled using the Ikkajo side technique when striking with a yokomenuchi or side strike. From Migi Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in, Uke strikes from the side, and Shite shifts and blocks. Shite crosses his right hand over his left and cuts Uke's arm down as he shuffles forward. Shite then steps forward with his left foot, then right, and controls Uke to the mat with the Ikkajo side technique. Shite lifts his hands at the same time as Uke, turning his body as he blocks Uke's strike with his left hand at shoulder height while striking Uke's face with his right back fist. Shite crosses his right hand over and cuts Uke's arm down in a circular motion. As Shite cuts his left hand, moves to Uke's elbow, and at the finish of this motion, Shite should grab Uke's wrist with his right hand. Shite steps in towards Uke's armpit with the left leg, then steps again with the right leg, taking Uke to the mat. Shite then puts Uke's arm on the mat and pins with the Ikkajo side. This is the same technique, but performed from a sitting position. From Migi Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in and perform Seizoho together. Uke strikes with a side strike with his right hand, Shite blocks. Shite crosses his right hand over and cuts Uke's down in a circular motion. Shite moves his left knee forward towards Uke's armpit and then his right, and puts Uke's arm on the mat and applies the Ikkajo side. Uke comes up on his toes as he strikes. Shite moves his left knee diagonally backwards while he blocks with his left hand at shoulder height. Shite crosses his right hand over and moves his right knee forward as he cuts down Uke's arm. Shite then moves his left knee forward towards Uke's armpit, and his right knee places Uke's arm on the mat, controls the wrist and elbow, and applies the Ikkajo pin. In this technique, as Uke strikes with a yokomenuchi strike, Shite blocks and uses a pivoting and shifting motion to control Uke to the mat with the Ikkajo technique. From Hidari Gakko Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffling together. Uke strikes, Shite moves diagonally forward and blocks. Shite crosses his right hand over and pivots to the rear 180 degrees while breaking Uke's balance and shifting, taking Uke to the mat. Puts the right knee on the mat and controls Uke's arm with the Ikkajo pin. Shite lifts his hands at the same time as Uke. As Uke strikes, Shite moves diagonally forward to the left and blocks Uke's strike with his left hand at shoulder height while applying a back fist atemi to Uke's face. Shite crosses his right hand over, and while pivoting to the rear 180 degrees, he controls Uke's arm to break his balance. He shifts his weight and puts his left knee on the tatami, puts his right knee down with the time with the arm, and applies the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique, but is performed from a sitting position. From Migi Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in together and perform Seizoho. As Uke strikes with his right hand, Shite moves diagonally forward to the left and blocks. Shite crosses the hand over and pivots 270 degrees to the rear while controlling Uke to the mat and applies the Ikkajo pin. Shite moves his left knee diagonally forward while blocking with his left hand at shoulder height, and his right hand applies a back fist atemi to Uke's face. Shite crosses his right hand and pivots on his left knee 270 degrees while taking Uke to the mat in a circular motion, then applies the Ikkajo pin. This technique is used when Uke grasps Shite's wrist and pulls. Shite controls Uke with the Ikkajo technique. From Migi Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in, and Uke grasps Shite's left wrist and pulls. Shite shifts with Uke's pull and applies a temi, shuffles forward and raises his hands, shuffles forwards and cuts down, breaks the grip, cross steps forward with the back leg, cross steps again with the back leg, and applies the Ikkajo side pin. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite shifts with his back leg in a circular motion. The left hand moves with the back leg as Shite applies an atemi with his right back fist. The left hand moves outside of Uke's wrist in a rising circular motion. As the hand reaches the top of the arc, Shite's right hand grasps Uke's wrist. As Shite moves forward, the left hand circles down, cutting against Uke's arm. Shite shuffles forward once more to break Uke's grip with the left hand while controlling Uke's right hand. Shite steps forward with the back leg in the direction of Uke's armpit. Stepping forward again takes Uke to the mat. Shite's right knee and Uke's arm move to the mat together. Shite's right hand should be on the back of Uke's hand. To apply the pin, Shite's right hand moves towards Uke's shoulder, and the left hand pushes on Uke's elbow towards Shite's right hand. This is the same technique but performed from a sitting position. From Migi Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in together and perform Seizoho. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite moves his left knee and left hand while applying an atemi with his right hand. Shite circles his left hand up and cuts Uke's arm down. Releases Uke's grip, steps forward towards Uke's armpit with his left knee, then the right, and puts Uke's arm on the mat and applies the Ikkajo pin. Shite moves his left arm in a circular motion while applying an atemi. As in the standing technique, Shite moves forward as he cuts Uke's arm down, moves forward again to break Uke's grip. He moves the left knee forward, then the right knee, puts Uke's arm on the mat, and while controlling Uke's wrist and elbow, applies the Ikkajo pin. In this technique, Uke is controlled with the Ikkajo Osai by using a turning and shifting motion when Uke grabs Shite's wrist and pushes. From Hidari Gakuhami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffling together. Uke grabs Shite's left hand with his right and pushes. Shite moves to the side while applying an atemi, pivots while he raises his hands, pivots 180 degrees to the rear and shifts his weight, taking Uke to the mat, then applies the Ikkajo pin. Moving with Uke's push, Shite moves his body to the left as he applies the right atemi. Pivoting 45 degrees, he circles Uke's arm up to break his balance. Pivoting 180 degrees to the rear, he breaks Uke's balance more, shifts his weight, takes Uke to the mat, controls Uke's arm to the mat, and applies the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique, but performed from a sitting position. From Migiai Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffling together and perform Seizo. Uke grabs Shite's left wrist with his right hand and pushes. Moving with Uke's push, moves to the left, applies an atemi, raises his hands, pivots 270 degrees to the rear, takes Uke to the mat, controls the wrist and elbow, and pins Uke. As Shite moves with Uke's push, he comes up on his toes and applies an atemi. Shite pivots 45 degrees while raising his left hand and breaking Uke's balance, pivots 270 degrees to the rear and takes Uke to the mat, controls Uke's arm, and pins. In this technique, Uke is controlled with Ikkajo Osai when he grasps both of Shite's wrists and pulls. From Migiai Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in while Shite offers both hands at chest height. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite shifts to the side, raises his hands, and cuts down. Breaks Uke's grip, steps forward from the back leg, steps forward again, takes Uke to the mat, and applies the Ikkajo pin. Shite offers both hands at chest height. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite shifts to the left. The left hand is in the same position as Katatemochi Ikkajo Osai-chi, while the right hand extends in the direction of the thumb to control Uke's elbow. While shuffling forward, the left hand moves outside of Uke's wrist in a circular raising motion, while the right hand comes to meet the left. The right hand grasps Uke's hand at the finish of the arc. Keeping contact with Uke's hand, Shite shuffles forward and cuts down, breaks Uke's grip, back leg steps forward in the direction of Uke's armpit, the back leg moves forward again, taking Uke to the mat, put the arm down, and apply the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique, but performed from a sitting position. From Migiai Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in and perform Seizaho. Shite offers both hands at chest height, Uke grabs and pulls. Shite moves with Uke's pull with both hands. Moves forward, raises the hands. Moves forward, cuts down. Breaks Uke's grip. Moves forward with the left knee. Then the right. Places Uke's arm on the mat and performs the Osai. The hands move the same as in the standing technique with Uke's pull. Move forward, raise the hands. Move forward again and cut down. Break Uke's grip. The left knee moves in the direction of Uke's armpit. Then the right knee moves forward. Place Uke's arm on the mat, control the wrist and elbow, and apply the Ikkajo pin. In this technique, Uke is controlled with the Ikkajo Osai using a shifting and turning pivoting motion when he grabs Shite's wrists and pushes. From Hidari Gekko Hami Kamae, Shite Uke shuffle in, Shite offers both hands. Move to the side, raises the hands, pivots, shifts the weight and takes Uke to the mat, puts the arm down and applies the Ikkajo pin. As in the number 1 technique, Shite offers both hands at chest height. Moving with Uke's push, Shite moves both hands and body to the side. Raise the hands, pivot 180 degrees, shift the body taking Uke to the mat, break the grip, put the right knee and the hand down, and apply the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique but performed from a sitting position. From Migiai Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in and perform Seizoho. Shite offers both hands and Uke grabs and pushes. Moving with Uke's push to the side, Shite moves, raises the hands, pivots on the knee 270 degrees to the back, controls Uke to the mat, puts the arm on the ground, and controls Uke with the Ikkajo pin. Moving with the push, Shite moves his left knee and both hands to the side. Pivoting to the rear, circles Uke's hand up, pivoting on the left knee 270 degrees to the taking Uke to the mat, put the arm down on the mat, and apply the Ikkajo pin. In this technique, Uke is controlled with the Ikkajo Osai when he grasps Shite's elbow from the top and pulls. From Migiai Hami Kamae, shuffle in, Uke grabs Shite's elbow from on top with his right hand and pulls. Shite moves in a circular motion while applying a temi, lifts the arm, moves forward, cuts down, cross steps forward with the left foot, cross steps forward with the right foot, puts Uke's arm on the mat, and controls and pins with Ikkajo Osai. Uke grabs Shite's elbow from on top and pulls. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite moves in a circular motion while applying a right atemi with his right back fist. Shite grabs Uke's hand, keeps in contact, moves forward, and cuts Uke's arm up. Moving forward, Shite cuts his left arm down. Moving forward from the back leg, Shite moves in the direction of Uke's armpit and breaks Uke's grip, and Shite's left hand moves to Uke's elbow. Moving backward from the back leg again, take Uke to the mat, put the arm on the tatami, and apply the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique, but performed from a sitting position. From Migi Aihami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in and perform Seizaho. As in the standing technique, Uke grabs Shite's elbow from the top and pulls. Move with the move to the side, move forward, slide your arm up Uke's elbow, shuffle forward and cut down. Step in with the left knee, grab Uke's elbow with your left hand, move the right knee forward, place the arm on the mat, and apply the Ikkajo pin. Shite moves his left knee and left arm with Uke's pull as he applies an atemi with his right back fist. Shite grabs Uke's hand and keeps it in contact with his elbow as he moves forward and slides up Uke's arm. Move his right knee forward, he cuts down. Moves his left knee forward in the direction of Uke's armpit as he breaks Uke's grip and grabs the elbow. Place the arm on the tatami and apply the Ikkajo pin. In this technique, Uke is controlled with the Ikkajo Osai technique with a pivoting and turning movement when he grabs Shite's elbow from the top and pushes. From Hidari Gakuami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in, Uke grabs Shite's elbow and pushes, moves to the side, a punch. Pivot 45 degrees as you cut up the elbow. Pivot 180 degrees to break Uke's balance and shift, taking Uke to the mat. Break the grip, put the knee and the arm on the ground, and perform the pin. Uke grabs Shite's elbow as in the number 1 technique and pushes. Moving with Uke's push, Shite moves to the side and applies an atemi. Shite slides his left hand up Uke's arm, pivots 180 degrees while breaking Uke's balance, shifts taking Uke to the mat, breaks Uke's grip, puts the right knee and arm down, and applies the Ikkajo pin. This is the same technique but performed from a sitting position. From Mige Hami Kamae, Shite and Uke shuffle in and perform Seizaho. Uke grabs Shite's left elbow and pushes. Shite moves to the side while applying an atemi. Pivots 45 degrees while cutting up Uke's arm. Shite pivots 270 degrees while taking Uke to the mat. Break the grip, put the elbow on the mat, and apply the pin. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite moves his left knee and left hand to the side while applying an atemi. Shite grabs Uke's right wrist and pivots 45 while sliding up Uke's arm with the left hand. Shite pivots 270 degrees to the rear while taking Uke to a prone position on the mat. Release Uke's grip, place the arm on the mat, and control the wrist and elbow while applying the osai. In this technique, Uke is controlled with Ikkajo Osai when he grasps Shite's shoulder and pulls. From Mige Hami Kamae, Shite Uke shuffle and Uke grabs Shite's shoulder with his right hand and pulls. Shite moves to the side, grabs Uke's hand, shuffles forward as he slides up Uke's arm, shuffles forward, cuts down. The left hand moves to the elbow, cross steps back with the rear foot, cross step again from the rear foot, taking Uke to the mat, release Uke's grip, place the arm on the tatami, and apply the Ikkajo pin. Uke grabs Shite's shoulder with the palm facing down and pulls. Moving with Uke's pull, Shite moves his left hand in a circular motion while he applies an atemi with his right back fist. Shite grabs Uke's hand, keeping it in contact with his shoulder. He shuffles forward as he slides up Uke's arm with his left hand to break Uke's balance. Shuffling forward again, Shite cuts down his left hand. Grabs Uke's elbow and, keeping contact with the shoulder, steps in with the back foot towards Uke's armpit. Steps forward again with the right foot, taking Uke to the mat. Releases Uke's grip, places the arm and the right knee on the tatami, and controls the wrist and the elbow and applies the osai. This is the same technique but performed from a sitting position. From Mige Hami Kamae, Shite Uke shuffle in and perform Seizoho. Uke grabs Shite's shoulder and pulls. Shite moves with the pull to the side while applying an atemi, grabs Uke's hands, moves forwards and slides up Uke's arm. Slides, shuffles forward again and cuts down. Grabs the elbow, moves the left knee towards the armpit. The right knee moves forward, break the grip, place the arm on the tatami, and pin. Uke grabs Shite's shoulder as in the standing technique. Shite moves his left hand and left knee to the side while applying an atemi. Shite grabs Uke's hand, moves forward and slides up Uke's elbow, moves the right knee forward again and cuts down. Grabs Uke's elbow, steps in with the left knee, steps forward with the right, breaks Uke's grip, places the arm on the tatami, and applies the Ikkajo pin.